One of the strangest people that DDG has had beef with in the past is a deeply polarizing figure, and that's being quite generous, named Elijah Schaffer.
And that's why it doesn't take a genius to notice that black people and white people in America look, act, behave fundamentally different, both individually and collectively. Now,
and while he has often taken every opportunity possible accusing black people of being, quote, degenerate, he's allegedly been engaging in the most degenerate behavior you could imagine of his own.
And the second night, I was like breaking out in like a rash. And so he's like, oh, like get some Benadryl, it'll help with the rash. And like now I'm thinking back and it's like, that's probably why I like blacked out, because he like intentionally gave me Benadryl and like fed me a bunch of shots and stuff. And like obviously it's like stupid on my part to like go along with that, you know? But at the same time, it's like he obviously like knew what he was doing.
So let's break down the scandal that has recently exploded in conservative American circles and just how it ties to DDG. Elijah Schaffer, for those that don't know, is a conservative podcaster and founder of Rift TV, which seems to be falling apart, and rose to fame by being highly critical of the BLM movement, Black Lives Matter, and for allegedly being involved in the January 6th situation. Schaffer, meanwhile, has said that he was merely a journalist documenting what happened.
But I think, there was a First Amendment issue, and I wasn't there to do anything besides record and to capture what was happening. And those videos got viewed hundreds of millions of times within just 24 hours and have been used in both impeachment trials. Well, not technically the second impeachment. And even some of my critics, like AOC, et cetera, have used the videos and unknowingly praised me for bravery, thinking I was with the New York Times. So that kind of stuff just does happen. And I'm really glad of the work that we did that day. And I'm glad the government decided not to prosecute a credentialed reporter who got his credential in the Capitol building to actually record and be in the Capitol during any type of newsworthy event.
The most charitable term you can use to describe him is a white nationalist. And while there is nothing inherently wrong with espousing Christian or traditional values, he very often frames these as exclusively to white people and often makes disparaging remarks about every other ethnic group. On one radio podcast, he said, "I'm not saying there aren't good blacks that add to some good culture. I'd say the majority of the culture they create is degenerate. But I'm asking you. But I know a lot of good black people too. So I'm saying, like, overall, would you say black people made America better, or would you say it made it worse?" Schaffer crossed paths with DDG in 2024 when he made fun of DDG's then-girlfriend, Halle Bailey, and current baby mama, who starred as Ariel in The Little Mermaid. Schaffer posted on Twitter, "When exactly did Hollywood become flooded with ugly people?" Followed by, "I say this as a 100% certified ugly person myself. We recognize our own, but she's not even ugly hot." Then he shared a picture of E.T. and captioned it with, "The new Little Mermaid actress." Schaffer faced a lot of public pushback for these comments, but none of it came close to the insult DDG posted. And this wasn't solely tied to Elijah Schaffer. His whole circle of the internet would bash Ariel being not just Halle Bailey, but the fact that Ariel was black. They just erupted over this, and they do this about a lot of different movie and television characters. DDG responded, "I'm smoking on yo dead-ass mama. That dumb bee should have got a better doctor, LMFAO." And there's a picture of him smoking a blunt with a Photoshop of Elijah's late mother at the bottom. In an interview on Vlad TV, DDG justified these insults by saying that he was a grown man with kids making fun of a young woman starring in a harmless Disney movie for no reason other than her appearance. DDG said, "He has a wife and kids. I did my research. He has a wife and kids. And you're talking like this on the internet. How old are you?" I feel like that ish is just childish and stupid, and his career is going nowhere as a podcaster. DDG was correct here. That man gets effing 10,000 views a video. Yeah, it's like, I just didn't understand it. I'm like, what the F are you tweeting for? And although DDG possibly went a little bit too far with this insult, I don't think so. The point he made that he has a wife and kids is highly relevant to his latest controversy, which began with some deeply concerning tweets just about a week ago. The first tweet read, "I do not know where my wife and kids are, and I cannot get a hold of them. They are filed as missing persons. They have gone missing. Law enforcement confirms someone in my household set me up. They planted drugs and said I was a criminal. This will be a public trial by the FBI. Sounded like someone going through a manic episode. Followed by, I am a victim of serious targeted felony crimes. I am not wanting to harm myself. They have kidnapped my family. They have stolen my money. I will bring justice. I need the public to know. I'm in Virginia. The government is aware. I believe the FBI is trying to destroy my life and end me. The only substance behind these claims was the fact that Elijah was being sued for defamation by the wife of Kash Patel, who's a director of the FBI. Elijah had called her an Israeli spy or honeypot agent. Elijah then tweeted some good news, writing, my stolen car was recovered by U.S. Customs. I am the victim of a serious set of felonies, including gun theft. Someone from my inner circle is involved. This is an international probe. I don't know who I pissed off. DDG, you pissed off. I have evidence and will prosecute. I can't say anything else. Elijah also posted a photo of himself with the car. But this image raised a lot of eyebrows. One person tweeted, Elijah Schaffer sat on the hood of his car and posed for a photo, smiling and giving 2 thumbs up on the same day he said his wife and children had been kidnapped and that the FBI was framing him for felony crimes, stealing all his money, and trying to end him. He then posted, my wife divorced me and took my kids and I have no idea where they are. I'm sober. I'm sad. I have good support. Thank you for everyone supporting me during this rough season. I'll get through it. This tweet received a community note which read, not only is the OP lying, since he himself filed for divorce on January 22, 2026, and claimed before deleting his tweets that his family had been kidnapped, but he also fails to mention that he cheated on his wife. Someone else replied to Elijah's tweets and hinted at another allegation, his drug addiction. It read, BS. You said your family was missing. Now it's all about the car. I'm glad you got the car back, but you've been on a coke bender and the missus took the kids. Coke is for homos, bro. Most pointless drug I ever did. Absolute weak piss. To which Elijah replied, shut the F up, you narcissistic a-hole. Sorry you did coke and effed your life. I don't do drugs. I'm a dad and very concerned, but I've been advised by my attorneys to not make any more statements due to the criminal actions against me and sensitive nature. Elijah also shared a video claiming that he was in a hotel room somewhere, but not really answering any of the questions people had.
No one believes me that my life doesn't make any sense right now, but this is the way back to my hotel room, and it doesn't make any sense. I now have to leave my hotel room because of a flood. This is very weird. But what's going on here, okay? It's very bizarre. So there's some water moving here. Okay, cool. Won't walk in that. My feet are wet. And then we got some flooding, I guess. Okay, it's falling on me. But what even is going on, right? There's a thing, okay? At least I can take a seat and actually rest. But then I have some what? Some Diet Dr. Pepper?
Ultimately, there was genuine concern on how the subject had shifted away from his missing wife and children. A woman by the name of Abby Libby tweeted, these are his deleted posts. I have a horrible suspicion that Elijah Schaffer has ended his family with the gun he claims is stolen. I feel sick. Tell me I'm reading this wrong. To which Schaffer replied, seriously, this is defamatory. I just found my stolen car and couldn't find my wife. I would never harm anyone. I'm not even a violent person. Please delete this as this is defamatory and implies criminal action that was never taken, nor I would ever be involved in. I love them. And she got back to him with, no, I know the definition of defamatory and this isn't it. Miss me with the lawfare threats. Your family had better be safe and they had better stay that way. But soon Elijah stopped tweeting and everyone was left wondering what happened next and hoping and praying that everything was okay, unless you were probably on DDG's side of things. And even then, you wouldn't want his family harmed. However, another person was at hand to answer some of the many questions people had, Milo Yiannopoulos, who claimed to have been in touch with Elijah, who was also a part of Ye's team for a very long time, but had been a part of this internet circle for the better part of a decade. The right-wing YouTuber Atlas Thug claims that Milo had become known for digging up damaging information about people in conservative circles.
Milo Yiannopoulos' entire positioning in the right wing is to build dossiers on people. It is to entrap people. He is kind of like our Jeffrey Epstein. So when you're thinking about why is Milo always involved in all this drama, understand it's purposeful. He is there to ensure that he is able to influence people, getting them in their worst moments.
And Destiny seemed to think this too, but has argued that Milo is not a 100% reliable source either.
Milo has a lot of info on people behind the scenes just because he's a super gossiper, but he also lies a lot, unfortunately. So he can either dump like really revealing stuff that's epic, or he can just like make a bunch of shit up. It's hard to tell with Milo.
So with all of those disclaimers in mind, here's what Milo wrote. I'm in touch with Elijah. I told him to get off the internet for a couple of weeks and go to rehab. It's better for everyone to just rip the band-aid off, so I'll share with you over the next few hours the info doing the rounds in private, or at least what I've been able to confirm. Then Milo shared a screenshot of text that he had with Elijah. This is a very one-sided conversation where Milo wrote, I've seen a dossier someone put together. Everything is coming out. My advice is to check yourself into a facility sooner rather than later. There may be a life for you after this, but it's going to depend on being totally honest about all the details, and it's going to require sympathy. As far as I can see, drug addiction is the only card you have left to play. Then Milo added some context about Elijah filing for divorce, reading, If I were you, I would go out of my way to be generous and decent with the wife and kids. This cross-filing in other states for divorce is insultingly childish and stupid. Observers will be asking, haven't you put the poor chick through enough? The investors don't matter. If they met you and still wrote you a check, that's on them. I'm sure it will be a while before you're ready to start putting your life back together, but when you are, I will help you. I've been trying to signal to you for the past year or so to cut the BS and talk to me. I was hoping everybody could avoid this. You may wish to be offline for the next week or two. Elijah finally responded and said, What do you mean? Cease and desisting people right now. But I got my car back, so that's good. To which Milo responded, Are you stupid? Elijah then properly read all of Milo's text and asked what the dossier referred to, which Milo said, There is a dossier being circulated that reveals all the details about Rift's collapse, Rift TV, which is the platform that he was working on, his company, your drinking substance abuse, the affair with Sarah Stock, treatment of your wife, sexual habits and perversions, degeneracy, alleged prostitution, your wife filing for divorce, and then you filing back in a different state so you can make out that you dumped her. And this was the major bombshell that Milo had supposedly dropped, as his alleged affair was not with just any woman, but a woman with these views.
It's weird how so many people get upset with the whole trad wife trend and try to say that you can't be a traditional wife or a traditional woman if you're living in the modern era and if you're posting about it. Like, if you have a cell phone, then you're automatically not traditional because we didn't have cell phones in the past. I don't think these people understand tradition isn't about a time in history. It's about constants and values that transcend history, that have stood the test of time. And these values include women's domain being in the home, women being submissive to their husband, women prioritizing their children, women being feminine, dressing modestly.
So both Sarah and Elijah were promoting traditional values of white people in America, but doing the exact opposite behind the scenes. According to Milo, in February of 2025, Sarah Stock and Elijah Schaefer began sleeping together. The affair ended on the day she got engaged, about 6 months later. In that time, they experienced multiple pregnancy scares. It is alleged by one former acquaintance that Sarah got at least one abortion. Stock and Schaefer had sex on the same day they met at the CPAC conference. In recordings of Stock confessing the affair, she claims large amounts of alcohol were involved. They told each other they loved one another. Elijah told her he was thinking of leaving his wife for her. The sad part is that, just like Elijah, Sarah is also recently married and had assured her husband that she had saved herself for him and she was a virgin.
You're also religious, correct?
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
Are you waiting until marriage?
Yep.
Have you always waited till marriage?
Yes.
You both are virgins, is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
According to Milo, Stock's husband has met Schaefer many times, but did not know about their relationship when he proposed. And here's where Milo posted the recordings that he spoke of earlier. You can hear Sarah speaking to an unknown person, but seemingly confessing to almost everything Milo has just said.
Not take any accountability at all because, like, it obviously was my fault too. It happened between us, but even that was like not like, I don't know. I felt like it was like he got me like very intoxicated. Like I don't even like remember most of it. And I was even like thinking back because it was like at CPAC the 2 nights we were there, and the second night I was like breaking out in like a rash, and so he's like, oh, like get some Benadryl, it'll help with the rash. And like now I'm thinking back, and it's like that's probably why I like blacked out, because he like intentionally gave me Benadryl and like fed me a bunch of shots and stuff. And like obviously it's like stupid on my part to like go along with that, you know, but at the same time it's like he obviously like knew what he was doing.
So he had it in his mind. Benadryl, what? Like, does that just make it increases like the toxicity or something? Like, gets you really screwed up?
Yeah, like mixing like a drug like that with alcohol.
When was what was this?
The highly ironic thing is that this affair between 2 married people all started at CPAC, which is short for the Conservative Political Action Conference.
What was this, CPAC?
That was when I very first met him in February.
Where was CPAC? I don't even remember this.
In DC.
Oh, that was in DC. Oh, I got you, yeah. Benadryl. For a breakout?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's crazy. Yeah, I know
Once
how.
again, like I'm saying, like I'm not saying I don't like have any fault in that. Like it like definitely like ate me up for like a long time.
Yeah.
I feel very bad about it still.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Damn. Yeah, that's it's tough, and I mean, I don't know how you feel about the guy now, but it's like it's probably worse that you like the more that you learn about him and know who he really is, it probably makes the whole thing worse a little bit.
She then broke down how Elijah rationalized what they were doing, despite the fact that it completely went against everything they believed in, purported, and criticized other people for doing far less.
How would he justify that?
He was like, oh, my wife doesn't care. She lets me run free or whatever. She doesn't care as long as, because I like take such good care of her, and she just lets me be a man and like do what I want and blah blah blah. Like
really?
He was like saying that stuff. Yeah.
Says like the wife doesn't care. Wow.
Yeah.
So he has an open relationship, huh? That's crazy.
Which, I mean...
Did you ever question that, or like...
I was like, that's definitely not... Like, I like realized that's not true.
Right.
But also, like, at the time, like, it seemed like... I don't know, just like the way he acted and everyone acted around him and the things he would say around girls, it almost like seemed like that was true. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
And like obviously like I deeply regret that, but also like I'm not a slut. Like I mean that's like a horrible thing, but it's not like I really am like sleeping around or...
Milo then shared a second clip where Sarah talked about how Elijah often got very jealous of a competitor and friend that he claimed, Nick Fuentes.
I was thinking, like, if Nick knew, like, how much Elijah's talked about him, like, Elijah will go around, like, telling people Nick's gay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's, like, said that before in, like, a room. Be like, yeah, I mean, like, I think it's definitely true that he is, you know, gay or whatever, but he has his own things. Just, like, he's, like, totally said that before.
Huh. Because I'm saying, like, those things make me... I don't want to believe Nick's gay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know how I feel. But those things, like, those clues that Elijah's leaving and always these comments, and then the fact that, like, Nick doesn't just crush him when he, like, counter signals or whatever. It's like, I just feel like, does he know something? Like, what does Elijah have that he's allowed to exist this long? Because, and maybe you're right, nobody's just paying attention, but...
And Milo also shared a clip of Elijah talking about his addiction.
And I'll just say, I'm going to admit, I'll just say this, I can't make you admit anything, say anything, but I will admit that I am playing a role in this, and that I am that it is immature, and that it should be dealt with differently. And I will also admit, outside of work, that my personal life, I'm having a hard time. And I'm trying to like figure it out. But obviously, I am stressed, and I'm not dealing with it the way I should be, and I'm not. And it's not always that I'm up till 12. Like, oftentimes, it's the same thing. If I don't drink, then I can't sleep. I can't sleep more than an hour. I'm tossing. I fall asleep at 6, and it's like, it may look like I was drinking the same thing or not. Do I drink sometimes? Yeah, and too much? Absolutely. I consider myself more of like having a binge problem. Or even if it is only a couple times in a week, it's like, I'll black out or whatever, and so that is problematic.
From Sarah's perspective, you could argue that this was all one big mistake, and a central belief in Christianity is that none of us are perfect, and it's all about how you atone for your actions in the future. The problem for Elijah is that this is allegedly not the first time he's been involved in degenerate behavior. Before being a podcaster with his own company, Elijah worked for Blaze Media, which is run by the former Fox News host Glenn Beck. And in September of 2022, they posted on Twitter, following an investigation regarding a recent personnel matter, Elijah Schaffer's employment with Blaze Media has been terminated for violating company policies and standards. Elijah confirmed this and wrote, "Guys, it's true. It's been a long time coming. I am no longer an employee with the Blaze. While I'm grateful for my experience with them over the years, it's time for me to go back to being independent. I'm unable to go into details, but I assure you my commitment to this cause is unwavering, and I will not stop fighting for you." In October, the conservative host Ethan Ralph claimed to know the real reason why he was fired, and his theory was backed up by the Daily Beast, who contacted a source close to the Blaze. According to both of them, he was dismissed due to his behavior around another host named Sarah Gonzalez. According to the Daily Beast, the alleged incident took place in Dallas on August 26th at the premiere of Uncle Tom 2, a conservative film that Schaffer co-produced. Gonzalez and Schaffer were seated next to each other in the theater, according to a picture that Schaffer tweeted before the film. As the film played, according to a complaint made to management at the Blaze and described to the Daily Beast, an intoxicated Schaffer began to grope her chest. And just 2 months later, even more allegations came out. That December, the Republican politician Herschel Walker lost his election to the Senate, partly because his son Herschel exposed him for being violent and unfaithful to his mother. In response to this defeat, Elijah tweeted, "Really thankful for Herschel Walker's son for helping Democrats secure another seat in the Senate. Nobody's better at electing Democrats than Republicans. Really spectacular job this round. All the criticism from our own base. Lack of support for Mitch. 10 out of 10 every time." To which Herschel responded, "I recommend you not come for me, or I'll have to tell your wife how you had SEX with my friend at the Turning Point event in 2021 while you were married to her. I don't like cheaters." This loser was fired from his job for SA and then also had banged my friend 4 times in one night at a conservative conference while he was married and she didn't know. Get your family life together before you speak on mine, adulterer. On top of all these allegations is the rumor that he's interested in more than just women. In 2024, Blair White tweeted, "I was cool with Elijah Schaffer for a while, though it was weird that the first time we met, he took my gay friend into a room alone for quite some time. Not my business. I was even cool with him when everyone had a story about him cheating on his wife constantly. Not my problem. But when he lost his career for essaying a married woman he and I have both worked with, I was pretty disgusted. He fled the country after all that, so I don't know why he cares about my YouTube debate half a globe away. Repressed homosexuality seems rough." So with Sarah, this could be a one-off, but with Elijah, this could potentially be a pattern of behavior, and how they both responded to this scandal is also very interesting. Once these allegations came out, Sarah tweeted, "A lot of what has been said about me is completely untrue. That being said, there are mistakes, unwise decisions I have made that I deeply regret. I apologize to everyone who has been scandalized by this. Please pray." Logging off. While the recordings show Sarah admitting to having an affair, she does not mention the abortion that Milo hinted at, so this could be what she was referring to in this tweet. And although Sarah saw this as an opportunity to keep a low profile, Elijah has decided to do the direct opposite. He tweeted, "It's my story to tell," and tagged popular right-wing hosts like Myron Gaines, Nick Fuentes, Alex Jones, Gavin McInnes. He then wrote, I got mad aura. Be mad. They will not get away with this. I'm not effing leaving. Game on. He then tagged Milo and wrote, "Thank you, @Nero, for making me famous. You effing snake B. Blood is in the water and I effing hate sharks. I have a D and it works. Everyone can go cry about it. I'm taking applications for podcast appearances. I'll release the info there shopping about me myself. What's done in darkness will be shown in the light. I honestly gave my life to God a few months ago. We've all done things we know we shouldn't be doing. Publicly stone me, you won't make me hate myself for what I repented of. Expose it all, it's healing to me. Post my D even." He then presumably referred to Milo again and wrote, "I'm canceled by a gay Jew for being straight," because Milo was also alleging that Elijah Schaffer had been engaging with men for quite a while. And I don't know how strongly to corroborate those because it could just be quote-unquote messy, but hey, it's more than one person that has accused him of that. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. I won't let these people blackmailing me during my FBI lawsuit have any more power over me. They already threatened enough. I don't negotiate with God be my judge. Shortly after this tweet, Milo shared another recording, which is allegedly Elijah speaking to his wife in a very aggressive manner.
Dumb, please. I'm trying to, like, God damn it. Being such a I'm like literally like, oh, hey, you know what? You had a couple beers. Oh, why do you lie to me? Why do you lie to me? You don't like you're a foreigner, bitch, and you need to shut the up. How about that? Because when I talk to you the truth, you become a and I don't want to be around you. Oh, I'm not a yeah, maybe you're not. You act like one. How about that? Oh, well, you want to show yourself to me? Yeah. How about this? I can handle your divorce me. Take my son.
Someone responded to this footage with, "A lot of people are confused by this audio because his wife isn't heard on it, but as someone who's been on the other side of this many times, I can tell you he came home drunk, ranting and raving at her for hours, and when they're in the middle of that, you can't say anything back because they will go ape-ish on you. You are a captive at that moment. You just have to sit there while they scream angry nonsense in your presence." And in a weird way, Elijah's almost being rewarded for everything that happened. Myron from Fresh and Fit has since spoken about this issue.
I don't really know what's going on with this Sarah Stock situation and Elijah Schaffer. Elijah Schaffer's a friend. I'm not going to kick him while he's down. I don't know all the facts and circumstances of what's going on in his private life, so I'm not going to really comment on it. I did speak with him this morning. We might have him on. He could tell his side. If he wants to do that, he's more than welcome. If he doesn't want to, that's fine. Obviously, it's a lot of family private affairs. I am not going to buy into rumors until I hear his side and her side, so I'm just not going to comment on this situation.
And even Nick Fuentes seemed interested too in defending both of them. Ultimately, Elijah has made or tried to make the best of a very bad situation. However, he was in no position to argue, point the finger at the black community or any other ethnic group when the chaos that he's had with his own wife and kids who have done nothing towards him but be loyal and be traditional like he claims to want, whilst he has done substances, alcohol, cheated with multiple other women, been fired for allegedly essaying somebody, and going on a complete bender and tear, destroying relationships, and coming back with no apology and no sense of remorse whatsoever. It looks like DDG ended up getting the last laugh on this one when he probably isn't following up with what this guy's been up to anyway.